So a lot of people are wondering, now that there's this new 12-team playoff, does my team still have a chance to make the playoffs? And one of those fan bases that might be wondering it is the Miami Hurricanes, who just suffered another upset loss, heartbreaking upset loss to Syracuse, giving up a 21-point lead. Do they still have a shot at the college football playoff? You heard him say in the broadcast, if they lose, 40% chance of making the playoff. You're like, well, that's, not ideal, but do they still have a chance? And honestly, to look at this, you really have to look at what the college football playoff rankings are and see what the committee is going to decide. So a little bit up in the air, but looking at the rankings, Miami was number 6. Ohio State suffered an upset, so they're going to drop, but they were number 2. Did they deserve to be number 2? Probably not. Looking at you, Ryan Day, you couldn't coach your way through a big game if you could, even against a crappy Michigan team. But anyway, Ohio State is not going to drop past Miami. They both lost, and there's a big difference there. You got Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Georgia, Tennessee, SMU, Indiana, Boise State. Clemson lost, but South Carolina won, Alabama won, Ole Miss won. And so you're wondering, how far will Miami drop? South Carolina beat Clemson. Could they leapfrog Alabama, even though Alabama beat them? Interesting thing for the committee to consider. I could, Ole Miss. I mean, honestly, those teams, you guys, guess what? It doesn't matter, because here's what everyone's forgetting. Conference champions get that automatic bid in, and the Big 12 does not have a team that is within 12. Is Arizona State going to jump all the way up to the 12 spot and pass those three-loss SEC teams? Maybe. They'll definitely make it into the top 12 there. And so, honestly, Miami, you're out of luck. Even if you fall to 12, there's nothing else you can do. Clemson, SMU play. The winner of that game will get an automatic bid. I'd say the only thing you could do to keep your fingers crossed is if the committee feels like the ACC has shown themselves to be a tougher conference than what people expect, and maybe they want more than one team in there. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like one now, right? If Miami and SMU both make it, I think the winner and loser would have a good chance. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I think the only shot that Miami had of making the playoffs, if it was Indiana who went to the Big Ten championship game and then lost to Ohio State, suffered their second loss, and that helped Miami. Maybe. Even then, that was a big maybe. Like it's looking really hard for the Hurricanes to have a shot. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to make it, and they only have themselves to blame. Their last 2 losses, they couldn't stop anybody on defense. So it's really unfortunate that a fun team with Cam Ward, exciting, is not going to get the opportunity to make what is the most wide open playoff in recent memory in college football.